Adventure is waiting for you at Nashville Zoo's newest destination, Leopard Forest. Explore 4 lush habitats filled with towering trees, winding vines, and natural beauty designed to make you feel like you've stepped into the heart of the wild. Encounter the critically endangered Amur leopard. Say hello to DeBrazos monkeys, klipspringers, and colobus monkeys. And don't miss the return of the zoo's most iconic stars, the Maasai giraffes. Bring the family or bring a friend. Nashville Zoo's Leopard Forest is now open. Today on CityCast Nashville, we're celebrating Pride with Christa Suppan, co-owner of the world-famous Lipstick Lounge. She shares the story behind starting karaoke, what makes East Nashville their beloved home, which celebrity recently rocked their famous stage, and the exciting expansion of their brand new sports bar, Chapstick. Happy Pride, y'all. It's Thursday, June 26th. I'm your host, Marie Cecile Anderson, and this is what Nashville's talking about. I have in front of me a list of the 36 remaining lesbian bars in the country. And of course, Lipstick Lounge is on it. But it makes me wonder, of all the gin joints in all the towns in all the world, why would a lesbian bar survive in Nashville, Tennessee?
I mean, honestly, it beats the heck out of me. No, I mean, seriously, I think there was such a need just to have a space in the South, in the Southeast. We just don't have a lot of bars in this area. Of course, you know, your New York cities, your LAs, your Dallas, your larger cities. And I mean, Nashville at this point, almost 23 years later, is a larger city. But I think it was just time. Well, maybe not back then, but now it's absolutely time. But to watch Lipstick transform into this whole space of not just lesbians, but, you know, just it's a little bit of everybody. And that's the way we intended it, was the Bar for Humans slogan that we've used for so many years. And we really meant that.
I love your bar. I love what you do. I love all the people there. Every single time I go, I make new friends. And now your newest addition is Chapstick. It'll be one of the only women's sports bars in the country. Y'all broke ground last summer. What is the latest update on that? We
are hoping, fingers crossed. It's not an announcement yet, but I'll tell you.
You're hearing it here first, folks.
Yes, you are. We are thinking we can probably do a soft open on July 17th and open officially on July 18th. You know, we have a lot of things left to be checked out and signed off on, but it is looking so good out back. I am so happy.
Oh my gosh.
I drew up these plans over 20 years ago. I drew up these plans. I said, I want a sports bar that shows women's sports. And of course, some of the things have changed, but really for the most part, like even down to the video wall, we're doing it. We're going to have 42 TVs.
42 TVs. Wow.
Well, go big or go home. And I wasn't ready to go home yet. So it is sports ball for all is the tagline back there, just like a Bar for Humans up front is. But it's really, you know, we really want to make sure that we're showing all the sports possible and even some local things that we've been able to figure out how to live stream. Like I believe the Nashville roller derby will be able to be shown and a couple other local things that you can't really see anywhere else, but you can just stream. So we're really trying to have TVs for everything.
Well, yeah, I was going to ask because I know WNBA fans are going to love it, but you're saying we're going to have college football nights, Sunday footballs there.
All the things.
All the things. Wow. Okay. This is cool. Maybe it's time I get into watching sports because honestly, I've never really enjoyed the sports bar vibe at other places, but I'm telling you, Chapstick may be my new home.
You can give it a shot. I think you'll like it.
Okay.
It's a pretty cute space. We've given a couple nods to Lipstick along the way. For those people who've been coming in here for all the years, they'll see some things and they'll go, oh my gosh, that is a lipstick thing. That was no longer a lipstick thing. So we do have a pool table. We will have dartboards. I am so freaking excited. I have been ready since we broke ground. Well, I've been ready for 20 years, but I am beyond excited to have a space. As much as I love Lipstick, you know, the older you get, it's like Lipstick's party vibe. And, you know, sometimes you're not always in party vibe. Sometimes I'm like just Christa vibe, want to chill and have some drinks and chat with my buddies. And it can be tough to do, especially on the weekends here. I think this will be a really great space to be able to speak to people and, you know, hold those conversations that are important.
Will it have different food? Y'all's food is so good.
Well, we actually have a whole brand new menu coming out.
Anything you can give us a sneak peek of?
Oh, I don't want to.
Okay, great. No, that's good. Leave our mouths watering.
It's just some fun things. And of course, I don't know if you've actually ever read our menu, but it's a little smart-assy. Like
Yep.
there's some little, I can't just write something normal. I always have to add some sass to it. So this one's funny too.
I cannot wait. We are all so excited. And of course, happy Pride.
Happy Pride to you.
Thank you. What are your plans for this weekend?
I mean, we do have a very large Pride Festival here in Nashville. We typically don't do a lot of live music and all that because there's so much of that going on downtown. And we want people to be at Pride. We also want them to come here. But, it's always held whenever it's so freaking hot out that we stay super slammed all day. So people are just coming for some reprieve and some really great air conditioning, that which we do have. So we're having some little events during the day. And then we'll also be just doing our karaoke at night. Because as we all know, we do have the best karaoke.
Yes, you do. And we're going to talk about karaoke later because I have so many questions on that. But first, I want to ask, you talked about your slogan, the lipstick is a bar for humans.
Mm-hmm.
Why is that phrase so important to you?
One of our dear friends, Tom Horton, who has since passed, was a married man to a woman. And he came in the bar all the time. He and his wife did. And he just looked around and he's like, this is the most unique place I've ever seen. It's just a bar for humans. And I was like, oh my gosh. Like he just put it all together so plainly. And he was a brilliant man. So not surprising that of course he would come up with that. But, we're not just a bar. Like John and I are obviously lesbians, out lesbians. But it just encapsulated exactly what we wanted it to encapsulate. I'm a human. I want a space to be welcome at. And it doesn't matter who you are or how you show up and how you dress or any of that. It's so much bigger than that. It's truly a bar where I hope that you feel welcome as soon as you walk in the door. This is our home. This is the longest place I've ever, quote unquote, lived. This is John is in my home, and we are literally inviting people into it. And we want you to feel like family when you walk in the door. Whether or not you're gay, that's not the point. The gay is not the point. The point is feeling loved and accepted and welcomed.
Well, Christa, I have to tell you a quick story. I had a friend, he serves in the armed forces. One of his last nights in Nashville before being on his third tour, I think he's now in Hungary. He wanted to go to the Lipstick Lounge before he left Nashville. And he's not gay. I mean, he's a little bit more moderate than I am, but it was community. It was joy. He got up there and sang Beyonce. And I just think that really says a lot about your bar because, yes, it is for all humans and it is where people want to celebrate life.
Well, I remember when they legalized gay marriage. It was so freaking amazing here. The energy in this space was just incredible. And it wasn't just the gay people celebrating. There were so many straight families, especially from East Nashville, coming down. They were like, we are so happy and we want to celebrate with you all because we know you all are going to celebrate it so big. And it was just such a cool evening here to have all these people who just love us for us. And they just wanted to be a part of our excitement and our happiness.
Oh, it's beautiful. We're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to talk more about what makes y'all so special. So, folks, I am back with Christa Suppan, owner of our legendary Lipstick Lounge in East Nashville. What was the Nashville LGBTQ plus scene like when you first opened, and how did Lipstick Lounge fit into that?
Well, there were a handful of spaces that were very directed towards the male persuasion. There were very gay bars that, we went to them because we wanted to be around, quote unquote, our people. I don't know why I do the quote unquote thing, but, you just want to be around like-minded people. So we would go to them, but they just never filled that void of being around your people. Not that I didn't feel welcomed, but I didn't feel super welcomed. It was just kind of moderate, I guess. There wasn't a whole lot one way or the other. And we would go, and it was just like, I just want a space where I can, hold my girlfriend's hand or reach over and give her a kiss if I feel so inclined. And none of the bars downtown felt like that because, back in the old days, Nashvillians actually went to Broadway and hung out downtown, but we were always we are roommates, we are sisters, we are whatever, but we are not gay. And just to have a space to open, once again, it's a selfish endeavor just like Chapstick. It's a totally selfish endeavor. We just hope you all want to play with us. It's a space that we wanted, so we hope that everybody else would want it too.
Well, so how has the community changed over the years?
I want to say they keep on getting younger, but I'm pretty sure it's the opposite way, and I just keep on getting older. Well, but that's the sign of a successful bar/business is you have to keep it fresh and you have to keep it new, where a younger generation keeps filling the ones of us who get older and don't come out as much. You know, I look around some nights and I'm like, are you sure everybody's IDs got checked at the door? You know, I'm just like, okay. You know, I'm older than most of their parents, but if you're not keeping it fresh, you're putting yourself out of business at that point, honestly. And, you know, we always try to keep up with the times and make sure our karaoke is up to speed on the new songs that are out that people want to sing. And it's changed so drastically. You know, I think when we first opened, I would say the average age when we first opened was probably, I don't know, late 30s, mid 40s. Mm-hmm. So it definitely has gotten younger, truthfully. I'm not just saying that for my own feelings, but I feel like the crowd has gotten younger. And I feel like some of these kids, you know, I think kids today are more open with their sexuality, just more truthful with their families and coming out. Whereas, you know, when I was younger, we didn't talk about it. Or if you did, like, I came out of anger. You know, it wasn't a very nice thing. It was just like, I'm gay. There, now you can just officially hate me. They didn't. But, you know, when you're younger and when you feel like everybody's against you and you didn't talk about being gay back in the 80s, you didn't discuss that. That just was not, it was so taboo. And today it's not. I feel like these younger kids, they actually get to celebrate who they are and celebrate with their friends and even their family. How many of these kids bring their parents in? I think that's so freaking cool. I am so down with that. I'm like, that's just amazing. You know, it took my mom, I moved her down here in 2000, and it was probably 2004 or 5. And she finally said, I want to go. And she loved it. And everybody adored her. And she was the queen bee here for sure. She was Miss Connie, and everybody just thought she was amazing. I mean, when she passed away, they filled up that space. It was so lovely and so beautiful to watch somebody who struggled so terribly with me being gay, you know, growing up in the Church of Christ and a very Republican family, and to watch her come into this space and feel so loved, and she returned it to them. It was just, freaking amazing. It was gorgeous. Gorgeous thing to watch.
I do want to shift and just talk a little bit about your neighborhood where Lipstick Lounge is located. Mm-hmm. So it's in Laughlin Springs. Laughlin Springs and East Nashville in general are not as funky as they used to be. Are you still getting patrons from your immediate neighborhood?
Oh, yeah. I mean, East Nashville, geez, talk about a change.
I know.
I think East Nashville's changed more than Lipstick's changed, honestly. Yes, the neighbors are awesome. This community, I'll tell you what, I don't know that I would ever want to live anywhere else in Nashville or have the bar anywhere else in Nashville. There's just no way. This is just such a part of our heart, this community over here. It's just different. You know, I've lived in a lot of different areas of Nashville. I've been here almost 32 years. This is my heart. I love this community. I love watching, you know, when the tornado came through. I don't love watching that part, but I loved watching the aftermath of the tornado and watching this, specifically East Nashville, just come together, and the love over here is huge.
The whole neighborhood came out to help paint the rainbow crosswalk in front of your bar last year. What was that experience like?
That was so cool. Emily Benedict had reached out to me and she's like, what do you guys think about doing a rainbow crosswalk? I was like, well, I think that's amazing. I'm not sure why you're choosing us since there's just, you know, one gay bar, lesbian bar over here in East Nashville. I just assumed they would choose Church Street or, you know, something of that sort. And she's like, well, I'm over in this area, so I would like to do it. And I was like, okay, let's do it. I wish they would have maybe taken care of it a little bit better or maybe put that sealer on top. I've actually reached out to see if we could do it again because it's wearing down very quickly. And then, of course, I'm sure you heard about I was going to say gentleman, but the guy that came through in his work van and decided to dump black paint all over it. Way to go, Lipstick Cameras. He got arrested and lost his job all in the same day, and I'm not mad about that.
And then the community came back and helped repaint it.
And fixed it up, yep.
Mm-hmm. Well, I say let's do it again. Let's repaint it with the finish. I agree.
We're working on it. We're trying to. We're trying to get it done again. Yep.
Most people, when I say I live in East Nashville, they're like, have you been to Lipstick Lounge? out of town people. People in New York City, people in Los Angeles.
Well, we actually, Fodor, 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 they ranked the lesbian bars in the world. And we were the number 2 lesbian bar in the world.
Look at us.
Yeah, I was like number 2 in the world. That's pretty amazing to get to be on a list like that. Short list, albeit, but still a list, right?
Right. Absolutely. Well, so I have to ask, so running any bar isn't easy, and running a queer-owned space comes with its own challenges. I was recently in Key West with a good friend, a safe and very celebratory space for LGBTQ folks. But as I was talking to local bartenders and friends down there, they told me that the vibe has somewhat shifted after Trump's reelection. A little bit more tension and political clashes between the tourists and residents there. Have you noticed any similar changes here at Lipstick Lounge, especially as Nashville gets more attention as a party destination for, let's say, fans of Kid Rock?
We have not. We have not had any changes, or none that anybody's made me aware of. You know, I know when he ran back in 2016, we had some people come in, some tourists come in with their hats on and up on stage, and they were just being rude. Just like we would to anybody, no matter your political affiliation. The KJ just turned off their mics and said, get off the stage. So we're also not going to put up with that here. You know, you can vote for whomever you want. We live in America, but you don't get to be a jerk in here. You can take that down to Broadway. I'm sure you'll be highly celebrated there. But I think people know that I'm pretty no nonsense about some things. I'm always down for a good time, but I'm not down for anything full of hate or anything of that sort. And, you know, I've tossed people out on their high knees before. I have no problem doing it. I mean, physically toss them out. You don't get to be rude to my staff. We don't do that here.
What I really want to know about are your regulars, the folks who keep the lipstick vibes going night after night.
They're magic. You know, there's several people who still come in here since we've opened. And I watch them because I like to just see how people interact anyway. But it's really cool to watch people who, and not just the people from that long ago, but your new regulars, your people who come in, you know, every week and a couple times a week. They seek out the people who they don't recognize. Hey, where are you from? Like, they start their own conversations. It's not just up to Jonda and myself anymore to go do the introductions and to be like, hi, where are you from? And da-da-da-da-da. Like, the people who come in here, they consider this their home too. It's one of the best parts of the job, but to have them just be so inviting and so loving and kind to people who aren't from here, who may just be passing through, that's pretty cool to watch.
All right, but now we have to talk karaoke. How did it become so central to the lipstick experience?
Okay, so I'm from Illinois, right? And people up in Illinois do not sing like Nashvilleians sing. So we were doing karaoke one night a week. And I'm trying to remember. I think it was Tuesday nights, if I'm not mistaken, when we first opened. And, of course, it's Nashville, so people are getting up on stage and just, I mean, blowing me away. I was like, this is really great. You know, the karaoke is really great. Super busy night. But, you know, it also costs money to run karaoke. It's not free. So I was like, well, maybe we can do it 2 nights a week. So we started doing it on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And then we had this gentleman come in from New York City. And I can't remember his name. I wish I did, because I'd like to send him a thank you card. And he came in and he owned a bunch of bars up there, like the ones with like all the card doors where you go into different areas of the bar and just all that kind of cool stuff. And he's like, I know you guys don't know me. He goes, and I know my opinion probably doesn't matter. He's like, but you have the best sound system. He said, and this is absolutely the best karaoke I've ever heard in my life. He's like, why aren't you doing it every night? I was like, well, because it costs money. And he's like, but you're going to make more money. And John and I went home and we were talking about it. I was like, oh, God, that's scary. Because if you announce something like that, you have to stick with it for at least a year to see if it's actually going to work or not. I was like, okay. I was like, what are we going to do? She's like, let's pray about it. I was like, okay. And I was like, I think we do it. Like, this guy came in randomly. Like, that feels like a higher power. It's like, we should, let's just do it. What's the worst thing that's going to happen? We're already broke. What's the worst thing that's going to happen? You know? So we did it. And now, I mean, gosh, over 15 years later, we're still doing karaoke 7 nights a week.
And you've had so many celebrities come in too. Do you have a top celebrity who has sang karaoke on your stage?
Well, Melissa Etheridge came in like 6 weeks ago.
What?
That was yeah. So that was like one of my biggest. I was like, I just wish she would come just sing one song. And so Shelley Fairchild, Ashley McBride, Shelley reached out to me. She texted me. She's like, "Hey sis, are you at the bar?" And I was like, "Girl, I'm at home in the bed."
Oh, you're home in bed.
And she said, "Well, I'd gone in the night before. I usually go in one night on the weekend." I was like, "Girl, I'm at home in the bed." She's like, "Oh, well, we're going to stop by." They had a show with Melissa Etheridge down at, I think, the listening room. And I tried to get tickets. Of course, I didn't get any. I was very hurt. No, I'm kidding. Shelley's like, "Well, we're stopping by the bar." And I was like, "Okay." I said, "Who's we?" She's like, "Ashley, Melissa, Shelley." I was like, "What?" And she's like, "Well, we're pulling up in front of Lipstick right now." And I'm like, "Oh my God." I was like, "Give me 2 seconds. Like, you guys can't just walk in the front door." So I called the main line and I was like, "Paige, get up to the front door, escort them upstairs. Like, we've got to figure out something to do with them." I looked at my wife and I was like, "Get your butt up." I was like, "We're going to Lipstick." So like, we don't have on any makeup. Like, we were totally like getting dressed from fresh, right? I throw on jeans, t-shirt, whatever. Like, I'm not even concerned about how I look. I just have got to get down here. So we walk upstairs and I'm just like, "Oh my gosh, Melissa Etheridge is in my freaking bar. This is so cool." And I'm trying not to be fangirl. I'm trying so hard not to be that girl. But I was that girl and I hate myself for it. But I was like, "It is such an honor to meet you." And I was like, "I don't want to be this person, but I'm going to totally ask you for a picture." And her wife was like, "Let me take a picture." She was so kind. She's like, "You're doing great things here." Like, she was so nice and just talked to me like a normal person would. They're like, "Okay, well, we're probably going to shove off." And I'm like, "Okay." And I'm not going to ask them to sing. Absolutely, I am not. I am not that uncool. I wanted to, but I didn't. So Melissa's like, "Well, I think we should probably sing a song before we go." And I was like, "Okay." She's like, "Can you make that happen?" And I was like, "Uh-huh." So I looked at my wife and she's like, "Already on it." So she runs downstairs to get the KJ and she's like, "I'm not sure if you know who's in the building." Nobody saw them walk in the front door. Not one person recognized them, saw them, or anything. So he's like, because he never breaks line. Like, you can't tip to skip here. He doesn't play games. He is super equal. And he's like, "Oh, yes, I can make that happen." So the four of them get up on stage, sing "Come to My Window." I'm out here. I don't even know what. You know, people. It's a Saturday night. People are partying and doing all of a sudden. There was like this, "Oh, my God, that's Melissa Etheridge." You could hear the buzz through the crowd. And my KJ, I've known him since before Lipstick even opened. And he was not crying, but he felt so happy for me because he knew I'd always wanted that. And I was like, this is probably the coolest night ever, and I probably looked the worst I've ever looked in this bar, but it was so much fun. It was so freaking amazing. Yeah, she's going to have to be my favorite.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes.
How wonderful.
It's on TikTok.
I can't believe I missed it because I definitely see all the celebrities on there singing, and I get so excited. So, oh, my goodness. Okay, well, I'm going to find it, listeners, and I will post it so we all can see. All right, so we're coming to an end, but as we go into this big Nashville Pride weekend, how can listeners support y'all, not just as a bar, but as a Nashville institution?
By being decent humans. I mean, honestly, that's the biggest oomph. I just want people to be kind, and I hope that we are a catalyst for that, and I hope that we get to be a part of people and showing people what true love feels like and true acceptance feels like. If they could just be kind to one another, that'd be beautiful.
Well, Christa, thank you. That was really beautiful, very special, and happy Pride to everyone listening, and we'll see you all this weekend.
All right. Thanks, Marie.
Thank you. That's all for today here on CityCast Nashville. Happy Pride! If you enjoyed the show, why not tell your friends? Rate the show, leave us a review, and subscribe to our Hey Nashville newsletter. We'll be back tomorrow morning with more news from around the city. Toodles!